Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and welcome to whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and do a mediumship reading tonight. Today is I don't even know what the date is. My gosh, it tells you it's Sunday night because I don't remember nothing past Friday ever. It's 9:43 on 8/13/2023. So today's August 13th. Friday, I did some, and it's funny because we all have that little voice in our head, right? And a lot of times I try to ignore that little voice because that little voice says things that I'm just like, shut up. Because I hear that little voice and it's not me, it's not my higher self, but it's some kind of guide or someone saying, shouldn't you be meditating? Or shouldn't you be doing mediumship readings? Or shouldn't you be doing this? And I'm like, sure, but I'm not. Because I'm the forever procrastinator. And if you tell me to do something, I'm not going to do it. That's just how it is with me. But whether I wanted to or not, stuff was coming through Friday. I decided to go ahead and put on some meditation music while I was working. And I have, once again, I have a job that's very repetitive. From the time I walk in to the time I leave, I literally do the same thing all day, every day. And it's to the point where, if you guys remember a couple of videos ago, I was talking about my hand not doing great because it's been out of place at least. This was like the 6th visit this year to the chiropractor. And he's like, you might want to think about something else. But I'm like, I can't think of nothing else that I would still need my hands for because I have repetitiveness that happens all day, every day. I pack and ship contacts all day long. That's all I do. And so that hand is continually becoming out of place because of it. And so I just thought that was interesting. But I don't know where I'm going with this. So Friday, I was like, my hand hurt. I was trying to focus on my job. I was like, I'm just going to put some meditation music on and be done with it. So not only did a person come through, but a past life thing came through. And if you guys want me to, I can do a spread tomorrow or Tuesday or whenever on that past life spread. But for now, we're going to try to dig deeper into the person that came through because I've actually started following a specific mediumship practice group. The last 3 weeks, I've been right about everything I've told them that came through. And most of the time I would clear a space, meditate. Okay, whoever this is in the picture, come to me, whatever. And it yielded some pretty interesting results because on the things that were super, not important, but super specific was the things I got right. And this person, when I saw him, I was just like, I just kept thinking it was an older version of my husband. And I just kept thinking my husband's name over and over and over. And I'm like, why? And then I kept getting a specific other name. And some of the things I got right on the thing, but some of them I did not. And I realized a good friend of my husband's passed away close to a year ago, who was the same name as the person I was getting. And I'm like, wait a minute. So now this spread is basically for me to try to determine if this was him coming through or if I was actually getting information on the person I was seeing on the group. Because I've never had that where I was specific, honed in on one person. And I even kept saying the information I'm getting doesn't feel right for him. And it may not have if his friend was coming through. Because it was somebody totally different, which I didn't dawn on me till today, 2 days later, that this was happening. And I'm like, okay. So, and I will tell you a little bit of the information I got, but we're looking at, this is the Pensive Path Tarot, the Carolyn Mist Archetypes cards by Hay House, or published by Hay House, by Carolyn Mist. This is the Citadel Oracle. This is the Stretch Tarot, but this is the version on Make Playing Cards. And then this you've seen me use before. It's the Missing Oracle. I bring it out just because, I mean, there's like 100 cards here. It's helpful. So we're going to draw from each of these just to see. I'm going to actually pause you and do a quick meditation because I haven't done that yet. And then we'll come back. And we're going to start with the Stretch Tarot. Actually, we're going to start with this one first. And the Citadel deck, I found, basically does what this deck does. So that's why it's out here. To see what I get with both decks. Anyway, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, we're going to go over and I don't know why, I got a candy bar show in there. I've shown you guys this deck before. I actually saw it on somebody else that does things for missing people. And I'm like, I never had this deck. And then I saw that and I'm like, well, I had this deck because of this deck. Because it was using a past life reading I saw online. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need that deck. So I bought it and I used it for past life work and it was amazing. And then I saw someone on YouTube do a video for missing people using this deck. And I'm like, oh my God, it works for that too. So I've pretty much used it for that ever since. But if I can have one for that specific archetype and then one for past life work, that would be cool too. Have one for one and one for the other. Or use them both. So, this person that came to me Friday, this is their personality. And that one just jumped out. Gossip. Light attribute awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. Shadow attributes thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. So, before we go any further, because I can almost guarantee you already know who this is, and it's not who I thought it was. So, the information I got a whole page I wrote down here. Friday, when I was putting on the meditation music and listening to it, the first thing I heard was cashmere cufflinks, ? Is that a thing? And I heard red velvet. I'm like, is there a cashmere red velvet cufflinks? Is that a real thing? I got 72 years old, a male, crooked nose from many, many street fights when younger. And then I put ? Boxer. I got death was aneurysm or brain bleed, very bloody face and nose, blonde hair and blue eyes when they were younger. And what not cracked me up was I was literally seeing a young man boxing. And then when I saw the older face, it almost was like I'm not seeing the true face because the face has been so demolished, which is the word that I'm using, I guess, from all the boxing before. And I didn't see a professional boxer. I saw like fight club type of boxing, like illegal kind, but they were good at it. But they had got their face rearranged a few times. I heard he has a daughter. And then I put kind of like fight club illegal, but known for it. They're known for fighting. Never did it professional. I keep seeing a bloody knife. And I heard a man say, tell her I'm sorry about the cat. And then I had an image of a man racing out of the house racing out of a house. It was like a ranch style house. The little girl is like 6 or 7 and she's watching from the window. And I see him jumping in the car. He's smoking a cigarette. And it's a few years after I saw him boxing illegally, getting his face smashed in. He's racing to the car, and I want to say it's like an Impala or something like that. It's brown. It's ugly brown car. I said Buick in here, brown Buick on here, because I keep seeing it again. It says, I see someone backing over a cat in a brown Buick, and he's had a fight with mom, from what I got, with his wife. Ran out to go to a fight because she's like, stop boxing, stop doing this. And he's like, no, it's making us money. And he raced out pissed and backed over the daughter's cat. He had a fight with the mother, maybe over the boxing, and he raced out of the driveway not looking and killed the cat. And it's funny because the things I'm reading here to you now that I had came through Friday makes more sense for who I think this is. Not the man in the photo. It's for the friend of my husband. So we'll see here. And I just had a something fly through here. Interesting. I paused it again because my son came walking in. And as soon as I went to put it back up, something jumped out. Something flew by. That's interesting because we're talking about him, and that's interesting. I've not told my husband because my husband would be like, okay, whatever, but it's sizing it up to be him and not the person. The Archer. Biding your time, planning ahead. Oh my God. Okay, so when he passed of internal bleeding. He had pulled something. He already was diagnosed with a bunch of other things that would have killed him anyway. But he pulled something and he had internal bleeding and didn't know about it and bled out inside internally. But he knew because of the other things going on in his life that he had a time limit. He had set up for his wife to purchase or sell things off that were his at a certain price, when to sell it off. I mean, he had a list he had prepared. He had planned ahead. So that's interesting. Plus, there was anytime anybody went over his house back in the day when my husband was younger and everything, every time they would go over there to his house, there would be rumors flying that they had an orgy over there. There was some kind of crazy drugs passed around. None of this ever true. But the fact that this is the stuff coming up, it leads me to believe that it is his friend and not the guy I was trying to get in the photo, which could be confusing. Could be why I was so confused. Plus, I kept hearing like what I was seeing was like an older version of my husband. And I'm like, why is my husband's name kept coming up? And it's funny because if he's coming to me, that's the first thing he's going to do is ask about my husband. So that's all crazy. So let's look at, where's the missing oracle? Let's just see what it has to say before we pull out the tarot. Oh, this is interesting. And you see, we're just doing a kind of a free-for-all here. Bathroom. Oh my God. Pretty sure that's where he passed. Was his bathroom. Interesting. One more from that deck. Nothing wants to come out now. Stranger. I don't know what that is. Interesting. So let's do my spread I usually do now. We're going to pull a card that says, basically, who are you? Who is this person that came through tonight to talk to me through the cards? Who are you? Oh my God. Generosity is the key word here, which is one of the reasons I love this deck. It is a man in a suit, and it looks like he's got a little girl and a little boy, and he has a son and a daughter. That's insane. Insane. Plus, with these two coming in, yeah, I totally believe this is him. And then we're going to use this Pentapath Tarot. To show personality. What is your personality? Personality. A man on a horse. Knight. And again, with this, I get planner. He was planning ahead. He knew what was happening. Interesting. And you see the bottom of the hill. It's all bones and skulls and stuff. Oh my gosh. Like he's happened upon a graveyard. Interesting. out. We got the Ace of Wands. I hear new growth, and it makes sense with this graveyard here. That's almost like a roundabout death card for both of these. Like you've seen the death and decay, and then there's new growth coming in here. Interesting. And I did want to show you guys real quick. The first deck I ever bought was the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. I hated the box, and so I made this one. I got this little box at like Dollar Tree, put some stickers on it, put the Eight of Swords on there, because that's the only card at the time I resonated with. I still have the book. I love the book. I never really resonated with this deck, though. That's the size they were. And then something the other day told me to crop them. And they're really small cards now. Because they had huge, ugly white borders. And I probably trimmed off a little bit more than I should have. But they are straight. And then I re-edged them in yellow highlighter, which came out perfect. But they are so freaking tiny and pocket size now. And I always liked the coloring. I think it was just the huge white borders that killed me. I never resonated with this deck. And now I'm like, I just want to put it in my pocket and take it somewhere. It's so freaking cute and adorable. I was going to say that at the beginning and I forgot. So that's why I'm saying it now. Because I wanted to show you all that little bitty Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And now the colors pop so beautifully. And it changes it. And they're so huge in this box now. Because this is the size of the cards. So I'm going to have to get me a bag or different box or a bag or whatever. But anyway, we're going to do one more card here. I'm going to pull from here again. And just ask him, why are you here? Why are you come to me? Why did you come to me? Page of Swords. Again, we got another man. The keyword is radiance. And it's almost like he's saying, you need to fight for what you need. Fight for what you got. And there was an incident recently with his wife where, first of all, his son is in prison. He never really got his life together. He's been in prison since before he was an adult, in and out. And he has been threatening her lately. He's never going to get out of prison at this point, but, or he may not for many, many years, but he's been calling her and threatening her lately. Plus, there's other people trying to, I guess, take advantage of his property that she's trying to sell exactly how he wanted. And they're trying to, well, if you drop the price to this, we'll buy it or whatever. Let's keep it in the family. That kind of thing happening. So that's what I feel here is this, not keep it in the family, but just fight for what you know is right. So she's fighting herself to do the right things by him, what he wanted. And I think this is his way of saying he sees that. He sees that there's, been, betraying confidences and things like that. And he planned ahead for a reason. And that's crazy. I might do this spread again. Not this spread, but I may do this specific person again because and I never told you his name was Albert. He passed away. I want to say it's been almost a year, if not coming up on the anniversary of his death a year ago, which makes sense of why he's hanging out now all of a sudden and coming to me. And I just found it interesting that the photo I was seeing of this person, and maybe I'll just go ahead tomorrow night and do the spread on this person that was in the photo, not him. But I'm feeling now that, we've got this settled that he's like, you know who I am. You know what I want. You know what's been said. You know the right thing. That he's like, yeah, I just want to come and let you know, I see what's happening right now. I see it. So I found that very interesting. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And I keep saying I'm going to do more of these because it builds up, and I feel groggy and depressed and horrible because I have so many spirits that come to me all day long at work, and I'm just like, and I never do anything because I'm always tired when I get off. So, and I keep saying the more I do these kind of videos, the less buildup of them I'll have, if that makes any sense. But I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing when I do this spread. So if you guys have any questions that you want to give me, that would be good for mediumship spreads. If you've seen other people do things, link them below, whatever. I'm all for it. I feel like I need more practice at this. So that's it. You guys have a good night. Bye.